So home sales went down 17% in just 1 month because the June stats just came in, and if you compare to the month of May, they are down 17%. 9,000 sales in the month of May, but in June we only had 7,481, which is a significant drop in just 1 month. But that's not the only thing you want to look at, because there are a few other things that give you an indication of which way the market's going. So number of sales is obviously the big one. But another thing you want to look at is new listings, because as we all remember, there was nothing to choose from like February, March, April. But new listings did start going up in May. Look at this big jump. New listings are in blue. They made a big jump from April to May, and in June they were actually even higher than what was happening in the month of May. So we've had the most listings in the month of June, and we've had a sales drop of 17% in the month of June. Another thing I think that's important to look at is active listings. So new listings are going up, active listings are going up, but sales are going down. But if you are a home seller, you don't need to worry just yet, because everything is still okay in terms of prices. We're going to get to prices in just a second. But another thing I think I want to show you guys, I've showed this before in another video, but it's worth taking a look at, is this is how many homes are available on the MLS, and this is how many of them have been on the market for longer than 3 weeks. Something to think about when you're thinking of selling your house, because things are taking longer to sell. Now, obviously, if you price your house below market value, you will be sold in 3-4 days. Everybody knows that. But if you don't do it that way, this is how many listings are still on the market, which is make it about 50% of all the inventory sitting on the market for longer than 3 weeks. Now let's look at prices, because if you are a seller, obviously price is king. Prices are still holding steady. They have actually gone up just a bit in most regions. I got to keep moving this around, sorry. As always, I'm going to be focusing on Halton, Peel, Toronto, York, and Durham. And this is what's happening from January all the way to June. You can see here, pretty much in every single region, every single month, they have been going up. Slight drop from April to May, but then they pick back up. And slight drop in Toronto, but overall, prices are still doing okay. Now, let's look at the actual numbers. These are the actual numbers if you want to look at, let me move this here. So these are average prices. April, May, and June. Same big 5 regions, Halton, Peel, Toronto, York, and Durham. You can see here, pretty much like every single region. I think there was one that had a drop. Yes, Toronto. Toronto actually dropped about 40,000 in average prices. York actually went up about like 15,000, and Durham is up about 11,000. So prices are still doing okay. So if you are putting your house up for sale, like today or in a couple of weeks, you'll still be okay. But it is a sign of things to come, because things are taking longer to sell. You are getting more inventory on the market, and active listings, they are sitting for longer on the market at the end of the month, and sales are dropping. So all those signs eventually catch up to prices. Like I said, now like prices are still okay for now, so you should still be fine. But I think in a month or so, probably prices will get affected. Now, if you want to do a 5-year comparison, like what is happening in the month of June, this is June only, June 2019 all the way to June 2023. So something to keep in mind, but overall, this is the 5-year comparison. These are average prices overall, like everything added together, and number of sales right there. Something you have to keep in mind though, like real estate is very hyper local. Like what is happening in one end of the city, like in Mississauga, what's happening in the north might be completely different what's happening in the south. So when you see like national stats, like Canada down 13% or Canada up 26%, you have to be very careful with that stuff. Like Canada as a whole, right? There are slow areas of Canada. There are slow provinces of Canada. You can't compare that to what is happening in your neighborhood. So when you're thinking of buying or selling, always see what's happening in your neighborhood first, then expand to the city, then expand maybe, like to the province, like not even the province, like surrounding cities, but always your immediate neighborhood first. So that is the update. Yes, the sales are down. If you need any help buying or selling, you can call or text here. I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye.